Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to John Lara's The Samaritan analysis, scene 1, act 2. We handled the act 1, so now we are moving to act 2. So as we get to this act, it's evident that Mayor Moses' threats and arrogance did not work, because right now Mayor Moses has organized a very serious, urgent meeting to try and address the situation at hand. It is the morning, second Monday of January, the following year after Sagrada Secondary School, and the mayor has convened a meeting in Maracas municipality headquarters. It's an urgent meeting with the key leaders following the expose by the Samaritan app. The key leaders that have been convened are directly responsible or directly affected by the expose. And these leaders are Mayor Mosi himself is at the meeting, his deputy, Honorable Ramdai, Harvester, the chief executive officer of the Maracas municipality, Harvester, is present. Inspector General of Police, Bembe, Inspector General of Police of Maracas municipality, Inspector Bembe is there. Seymour, who is the secretary in charge of planning and urban development. Then there is Honorable Ted, who is in charge of health and environment. So these, together with, not forgetting Judge Ian Jaden, the principal judge, they have convened here to discuss the way forward following the expose by the Samaritan. So the mayor introduces them to the situation. He gives them a newspaper. He first asks them if they have come across the newspaper, any newspaper, and they say they have not. And he tells them that I've deliberately instructed Harvester to hold all the newspapers from the newspaper vendors because of whatever is in that newspaper. It's not on our side. So I did it for our own good. So what is in the newspaper? In the newspaper, this is the reason why the mayor holds the newspaper. On page 21, it was in our best interest. Then he says, the Caribbean Watch, these are the now titles of the newspaper headlines. Caribbean Watch, Municipal Leadership, a Criminal Enterprise. The Sentinel, that's another newspaper. Municipal Leadership stripped naked. The Insight, another one, says, Road in Maracas, Municipality Council exposed. And another one, the Spotlight, municipal leaders face imprisonment. So these are very sensational headlines that are targeting the leaders of Maracas Municipality Council. So these leaders of Maracas Municipality Council have been convened to find a way forward. The situation at hand is dire. It is targeting them and their careers. So the first thing that comes to their mind, or what comes to their attention first, is the statement by Judge Ian Jaden, because they appear, apart from Harvester and Mayor Mosi, who are the Maracas municipality, the rest appear not to understand the situation at hand. They do not have the full grasp of the consequences of the situation at hand. So Judge Ian Jaden suggests, let's just bribe them, as we have been doing. Let's just bribe them. That's why he says, add them more boxes of chocolate, because that's what they have been doing. Add them more boxes of chocolate. But the mayor tells him, No. Uh, this one, this one is a different situation. You cannot bribe the mainstream media because the mainstream media is not even directly involved. The mainstream media only gets information from the Samaritan app. So now he has to explain to them what Samaritan app is because they were not at the Maracas municipality. They were not at Sagrada Secondary School in Maracas municipality. So he tells them there is this application where all the information is posted concerning the whereabouts of Maracas municipality. And this application now gives information to, or the members of mainstream media get the information from there. Uh, Therefore, it makes it difficult for us to bribe the mainstream media. If we do bribe the mainstream media, this information is still in the public domain. Um, so, therefore, the application itself is a problem, and Harvester has to explain them the, the problem of the app. He says, now this is Harvester bringing all matter to their attention. He says, gentlemen, that the Samaritan is a mobile application on which people are posting or sharing any information that they have on the conduct of our municipal affairs. The information is being shared in form of text, file, pictures, or videos. The aim of the app is promote the public good by exposing corruption and other vices in our municipality and agitating for prosecution of the culprits. Underline that, prosecution of the culprits. This alarms them because they are the culprits being talked about, and the mayor goes ahead to explain how they are linked to this corruption. Because the app is just like we explained in scene one, the app centers on transparency and accountability, meaning expose and hold them accountable. You expose them and then you hold them accountable. So Semo comes up with the second suggestion. Since we cannot bribe the mainstream media, then let's bribe the people who are providing the information on the Samaritan. So he still does not have a full grasp of this application, how this application functions. He says, let's then now bribe those ones who are providing the information. But now Moses tells him that the information has already been like over 500,000 people have already downloaded the files. So you cannot bribe such kind of people, or you cannot bribe such a number. And he goes ahead to explain to them that there is a lot of evidence, alarming evidence, and undisputed evidence that shows, this evidence clearly shows that we are involved in the corruption cases in this municipality. An example of that is that Ted and Seymour are involved in billing the municipality with a huge amount of money monthly, huge sums of money monthly are billed to the municipality, but the services for that money are not rendered. Yet they keep collecting money on monthly basis. So this information is already provided to the public. So uh, Seymour is agitated. He feels no, he has never, like no one has dared, because he considers himself feared. No one has dared challenge him like that, or no one has dared expose such kind of information about him. So he still thinks people fear him, but whoever is posting is anonymous. Therefore, he has no power in this matter. And among other crimes that are being exposed is drug trafficking, land grabbing, inflation of cost of the municipal project. We'll see how they traffic, who traffics drug, who grabs land, who is inflating the cost of municipal project, the use of proxies to secure tenders, shoddy public works, murder and gang warfare. Then public officers are living lavish lifestyle at the expense of the taxpayers. All this information is available on the app. And it's also being discussed that Inspector Bembe of the Mandigo Golf Club, Inspector Bembe owns the Mandingo Golf Club, and it's not known how he came across the money to own such kind of club. The information concerning the ownership of that club is in question. So this angers Bembe because Bembe too has never been challenged. So to add on that, the lobby group, to make it even worse, lobby groups have started agitating for action, calling for action. And the people involved, according to the lobby groups, should be prosecuted. This matter should not just be left as an expose. They should be prosecuted. So this now alarms the council. So Bembe comes up with the third suggestion. Bembe suggests that they should ban the app. They should just simply ban the app so that it ceases to operate. And they can come up with the information to help them put up a case against the app so that they can easily ban it. They can say the app is involved in cyberbullying. The app is involved in sharing of confidential information such as bank accounts. You know, when you tell the people that there's an application that is sharing the information such as bank account, people become alarmed and they easily support the banning of that app. Or it is supplying, or it's used to share for, pornography to little children. You tell that to people, people become alarmed. They easily ban the app. But now, Jaden tells them, Judge Ian Jaden, tells them that, warns them that if you ban it, you will only fuel the interest of the people. Those who are not even concerned, those who are not bothered, will now become attentive. Why are they banning it? Let's see what they are banning. You know, the curiosity of the people. The more you ban something, the more you make it famous. So that option is also not viable. Option number one was bribing the, the mainstream media, but it's not viable because they are not directly involved. Then bribing those who are posting the information. It's also not viable as option number two. It's not viable because the information is downloaded by, it has already been downloaded by over 500,000 people. So number three, banning. And banning is also not viable because it will only fuel interest. So we have to move to option number four. So Mosi comes up with another option. Let's hack the system. Let's simply hack the system. But now, look at it this way. Who is going to hack it? Which kind of explanation are you going to give to the public in order to warrant the hacking of the system? Mosi says we can simply uh, suggest something. We can say there is a malware there in that application. So we have sent experts to check that malware. So as the expert are busy checking the malware, they hack it. But Jaden, again, Justice Ian Jaden warns them that if you tamper with the application, then the courts will not support malicious damage of public property. So that's also a problem. They cannot now hack the system because that option is not viable. The court will not support it. So here now they come to disagreement. Honorable Ted tells Jaji and Jaden, why don't you just come up with some words? Because we are in it together. So the moment he says we are in it together, the judge is he's too proud of himself. He cannot allow himself to associate with the likes of Ted because Ted are too careless. Their crimes are glaring. The evidence is just readily available, so he does not want to associate with them. So he tells them, I fly under the radar, below the radar. So I can go to the enemy, behind the enemy lines and come back without being detected. So in short, he's trying to say that he has his skeletons, yes, but they are deeply hidden. They cannot easily be accessed. Therefore, he cannot help those ones who are too careless and leave their evidence glaring. He cannot risk their reputation for them. So he walks out of that meeting. So Moses again now suggests another one. Now the fifth suggestion comes that let's approach first. In fact, Saimo is one who brings the one that let's brings that suggestion. Let's approach the kids. Mayor says no. We cannot approach the kids. We cannot discuss with the children. Now they say let's approach the one who made their teacher now. Let's approach teacher Nicole, Miss Nicole. They brush it off. Ramdai comes with another one that let's tamper with the servers. So now here the problem is Ramdai does not understand the issue of technology. He thinks the servers are physically placed somewhere, so he will just go and destroy them. He does not understand that this is an online app, and everyone is providing information from a different area. So he thinks some people are seated in an office somewhere. So that too is not viable. They dismiss it easily. So Seymour now comes up with another, the seventh one. Seymour says, let's mobilize finances. I think let's mobilize finances and use the finances to handle court cases. We will bribe the lawyers, we will bribe the prosecutors, we will bribe the judges. Let's just have money to bribe everyone in this process. Now the problem here is that as much as the the council members appear to be affluent, they do not have readily available money. Most of them are mad with loans and mortgages. So these suggestions cannot work because they do not have ready money to service such kind of an action. So it does not stand. Harvester suggests another one, which seems ridiculous. He says, let's confess. Let's call a reconciliation program and then confess. What he does not understand is that confession is admission of guilt. And it does not guarantee that the public will just say you are forgiven and you continue with your roles. So the rest of the members are not in on that one. They cannot confess, they cannot admit their guilt. Which now moves to back to number 9, money, which was still Seymour's idea. That now that we do not have the money, we do not have money amongst ourselves. What do? Let's set the money aside from the municipal funds and use this money to bribe judges and the lawyers and the prosecutors. Let's set aside money. But now Moses says that the municipal cannot spend money unless it is in the national estimates. So he will be in trouble if he goes ahead to again allocate money that is not in the national estimates to fund court cases. Seymour gives him another suggestion. If you cannot do that, then let's come up with what we call a supplementary estimate expenditure. Let's come up with a supplementary estimate expenditure. Then mayor says he will not be blamed again for misallocation. It appears as if they are in a hole and they are digging it deeper. They have a problem, and the solution to that problem is creating another problem, because I think they do not fully comprehend the fact that this information goes to the public irrespective of however secretive they think they are. The information still gets to the public, because the information about other crime activities they have been involved in has always found itself to the public. Yet they are planning another crime in order to cover up the existing crime. So the mayor says he will not do that. And he confesses that he has been allocating, giving them funds meant for the municipal projects, and he has been giving them in terms of allowance, loans, and mortgages. And it appears they have been blackmailing him. It appears because at this point, Seymour blackmails him and he tells them that you either approve the supplementary budget or you are hounded out of the office. We hound you out of the office. If you do not approve the supplementary budget, we will hound you out of the office. Mayor Mose now goes berserk. He says he starts ranting. He reminds them of who they were before they got elected. He tells them this part here. When he's angry, he tells them that you senseless thieves, you were elected just the other day as poor and jigger-infested hoodlums. Now you are living like kings in grandiose villas and mansions, indulging in delicacies in classy hotels and driving state-of-the-art vehicles. How can you justify your current financial status? Who doesn't know you have stolen the money? Did you ever think you will get away with it? So the moment he becomes angry, he tells them this, they tell him, you have your day with fate. Seymour tells him, we'll see if you also get away with it. We will mobilize the members of the council chambers against you. So now at that point, they disagree. Others walk out of the meeting, and they end in a conflict. Remember, the meeting was convened to try and find a solution to the existing conflict created by the expose. So instead of finding the solution, they have again come to disagreement. So divided, it becomes difficult for them to win, because the Samaritan app is not something that exposes one crime and it ends there. It's a continuous process. A lot of information is being posted, and more about them is coming to public knowledge. So they have already lost. By disagreeing amongst themselves, they have already lost, and they have already created another conflict. So scene 2 ends in a very serious disagreement, forming two teams: Mayor, Bembe, Harvester, then there is Ted, Seymour, and of course Ramdaya will join them later. Then we have got E and Jaden appearing to be still neutral because he walked away before the real disagreement. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is just the synopsis of that part. Tomorrow we'll be delving deeper into the analysis of that scene 2. We shall analyze the themes in there. We shall analyze the styles in there. We shall analyze the character traits of the characters in there. So at this point, if you have a question, you have a suggestion, and you have a point, you can just put it under there or put it in the comment section. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a good evening.